Hey, everybody. Welcome to another action-packed, exciting edition of the OverMark Podcast. I'm TJ. Whichever way is Dave, and we're going to do that OverMark podcast-related activity that we've been doing. We're going to jump right into talking about how you doing, Dave?
Man, pretty good. How about you? I don't know why I just said that like that and then proceeded to then give you an answer. The how about you was supposed to come after that. I'm pretty dumb. That's how I am. It's been interesting week since last week. We had I realized I say a lot too, so I'm going to try to phase
Yeah,
that
we
out. That's
we
not
all do that.
professional for broadcasting. True broadcast professionals don't say You pause and gather your thoughts and continue. A short break is more pleasing to the ear and appears more intelligent than someone going, um. So, pro tip to everybody out there, to our less than 800 person channel, but we're growing, you know, uh, that's a thing. And I just said, there too. So that's another one.
I
What the hell were we talking about?
I kept doing that in the Halo channel that I recorded. I kept cutting out the ums. You'll notice the Halo shirt on today. So if you want to check out some more Overmark podcast content, actually, this isn't a part of the podcast. This is its own separate form video that we're doing for the first time on the Overmark gaming channel. It's pretty easy to
Yep.
find. Just look it up on YouTube. It'll be there. But yeah, we're splitting up a little bit with the diversity on the kind of video formats that we might do here and there. So you're going to get the podcast most of the time. You're going to get the short form videos. You're going to get the shorts. And you're going to get Dave in that awesome leather jacket over there again.
At least in the winter
Whip,
time, when it's cold.
whip
But
out,
it's come summertime, this thing is retired.
finish the look real quick. No, where's them glasses at? Toss them bad
Oh.
boys on. There they are, right there. If your hair was wet, like you'd pull off the fucking look, like 100%. Because that's how
Yeah.
he always came out with the wet hair.
Right. I would need like some pink glasses. His website,
Oh,
he
how
does
much are
sell
those?
them
50?
still. Something like that. I think they're not terribly expensive. And then there are autographed ones that I remember are around 100. So I mean, of course you get those, right?
Yeah.
But at some point I will have those. Maybe we'll do a show with the glasses on if we do like a daytime show or something at some point.
Gabagool.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of that.
So, real quick.
What were we talking about before we got super sidetracked?
Hold on. So, actually noticed one thing that I got to fix real quick before we move on. There's some keen-eyed people will notice what I just did. Some other may not. It was on the little video there, but so I wanted to show two of the new figures that I got real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you got the image if you want to pull that up again to look at. But yeah, I'm gonna go up and show these to the people real quick if that's something that you think they'd be interested in.
I mean, I think that it would be cool and interesting. Folks like cool stuff if they like this channel. So they would probably like some of that other cool stuff. Not to spoil it, that's how I just keep saying cool stuff.
All right. I got to get back up to put them back afterwards. But yeah, so
Yeah.
this is a part of the Super Battle Collection. I already had Gogeta up there, but now we got Vegeta here. He's looking red. He's got the purple gloves, the low quality craftsmanship of these things at the time. I just like it. I don't know. It's, they got better ones these days, but these aren't the ones that I grew up with, or those aren't the ones that I grew up with. These are. It's pretty cool.
Right.
You turn to the back and it'll show you more of the collection. But yeah, that's Vegeta. There's the side on the box art there. Keep whacking that mic so you guys get to see it.
These are like
now.
actual like 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s ones.
Yeah, it's funny. It says manufactured by Bandai Co. Ltd. Contact room 2902 29F United Center 95 Queensway, Hong Kong.
You know who owns Bandai now? We talked about this the other episode.
Who's that?
Sony.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I was trying to see if this had a date on it, but it doesn't. But they're old. There's a Super
That's really
Saiyan.
cool.
Yeah, there's Super Saiyan Vegito, but he's the gold hair version. So for some of these, they would make special versions that they had gold hair instead of blonde for the
Yeah.
Super Saiyan, and that's this guy here. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put
Very
him back, but I just wanted to show you guys that.
Hell yeah. Hopefully everybody thinks that's as cool as I do. The picture that I'm looking at here he's got a Chael Sonnen and Wanderlei Silva mouse pad. It's hilarious. I'm going to have him show it on the show one of these times.
So you know what's funny about that?
Oh, you could hear me. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So that thing's actually it's like famous. I had a guy rip me off once, so I put that on that UFC One and Now posting. It's a Facebook group, and it got like thousands of likes. I've done that a couple times on that website with different stuff, or on that group. But some guy ended up ripping it off like a year later and posting it like it was his, and I was like commenting on there. It was like this motherless fuck stole my picture and all this other stuff. And I actually sent him a message about it, and he's like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." I'm like, "It's mine. It's not yours. Like, you know, it's fake. It was some fucking Indian guy, man. It's like he didn't get it, but it's like, yeah, that's not yours." I was like, "You literally said it was yours in the comment, like on the picture. Like, look at my mouse pad." It's like, "Nope, not yours. It's mine."
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, TJ. He was all over your jock, to put a positive spin on it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna positively spin that guy's head a couple times if I ever see him in person. Yeah, that is my claim to fame. Yeah. That's it.
Oh no. Well, the conversation has gotten way off track here. I still can't remember what we were talking about. We were introducing. We talked about something. Something happened. Things have occurred. The show has already come off the rails, but we're going to steer it back on. Oh, I brought up the uhs and ums.
No, well, that's okay.
Won't do that as much. Yeah, shit happens. Who gives a fuck? Should we jump into our main topic, or do you have anything else that you would like to talk to us about before we begin?
I had my friends over for the weekend. It was fun hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run into too much detail, but we put the air mattress in here, so like one of them's like sleeping in here. It's funny. So like the podcast recording room's like a bedroom when they come to visit. Then we have the other one in Nika's bedroom there, so he's like sleeping like a little girl's room with all her pink shit. But
well, spoiler alert to everybody that this is not a Hollywood set. I do the podcast from my bedroom.
So I mainly wanted to tell one story and then we'll move on. But so we didn't have a lot of options to get food for the fights because it was icing out and it was accumulating fast. So like we ordered the Domino's and then like drove up there while it was icing, got it, everything went fine, but it was just like like, oh man, I don't want to drive in this, but it was actually okay at that point. It just kind of started for like 30 minutes, but it's way worse now, and I was driving on it, because everybody's pressed it down from driving, and they still haven't plowed a road, which is pretty amazing.
Oof.
Yeah, but it was fun watching the fights with my buddies with the snow coming down and all that. Remember that one for a while. We'll get into the MMA talk a little bit later, and that being said, you can take us on, lead us into the next direction that we might be going.
And I will, but before we do. Obviously, we had watched Saturday Night Main Event and UFC on Saturday, and I had made mention about Stromboli and bacon cheese fries, and I'm a dickhead and forgot to take a picture of it, but it did happen. I just did another. Instead of making Stromboli, though, I made it a calzone and added some ricotta cheese.
Yeet.
Yeah. But a lot of times with ricotta cheese, if you just throw it in there, it kind of will make the stuff a little bit more liquidy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I like to do is I'll portion out how much that I want, and then I kind of let it sit on the counter for like 15 or 20 minutes. That's not going to dry it out much, but it helps a little bit. And then I'll mix shredded mozzarella in there with it, and that kind of helps bind it up. Yep. So then, you make the deal up.
And you just made a huge mistake. Now we're gonna have this guy this Italian guy come in and be mad because you mispronounced mozzarella.
Well, listen, I hope that we get many Italian fans that are upset with how I pronounced it, and they're welcome to correct me. I appreciate the education,
No, I
and
meant
I
one
appreciate your
specifically.
food even more.
Son of a bitch! How
Oh
much more
no.
betrayal can I take?
Well,
You upset him.
I'll have to sit down with a plate of gabagool, and
Oh
we'll
man,
make everything all cool.
you
You
think
know,
that'll work?
it might. It can't hurt.
Gabagool. Gabagool. Over here.
Oh
Yeah, see,
man,
Gabagool.
yeah, everybody loves
Gabagool.
gabagool.
yeah, you're right.
See, even little girls. Well, speaking of things that little girls love, we're going to talk about the WWE Royal Rumble this weekend. I'm sorry that I laughed at that. That's unprofessional. We got the two-edged sword here. WWE, it seems like you can't please anyone with the Rumble anymore. If an older star wins, people bitch that it's the same old WWE. And if younger talent wins, they say it's not believable, they're not ready. And, they bitch about returns and call them cheap nostalgia. And if there's no returns, they bitch about that and they say that it's boring. You know, expectations are kind of impossible now. Fans want it to feel like the Rumble in 2001 all over again. I'll be honest, me too, but yeah, it's just we don't have that kind of roster anymore. Nobody feels organically over anymore. Most of the stuff feels forced and start-stop pushes. I don't know. What do you think of all this so far? I'm just machine gunning it out today.
You know, they essentially to please anyone would have to put on the perfect Rumble. They had to have the perfect night. They had to have perfect surprises, perfect pacing, perfect eliminations. Like everything's got to be perfect. Commentary's got to be perfect. Commentary's been pretty good lately. That's one thing that I can't really shit on in WWE. Michael Cole, I feel like could do a way better job than he does. I feel like he's phoning it in. But Wade Barrett's doing awesome. Corey Graves is a highlight of the show, in my opinion. He's a great heel commentator, but that's not
Yeah,
really.
he does a really good job.
But that's a side point of what we're talking about. We're talking about them creating the perfect Royal Rumble. I don't think that's going to happen just based on the track record that they've had lately. They haven't been putting on the most creative shows. I feel like Raw's been pretty good, but a big reason why Raw's good is just because the talent that they have. It's the most stacked show on wrestling when it comes to talent, in my opinion, in the way they're used.
Yeah, I mean and with SmackDown being 3 hours, it's definitely you notice the difference.
But yeah, people are going to bitch regardless. I mean, there's no way to really get around that. A big thing though is like, let's just focus on one aspect: the winner. You can't pick a winner that's going to please 50% of the people, right? So you already aren't going to please half the people.
Yeah, it's like politics or tea. We'll use tea because everybody likes tea. Not everybody likes politics.
Yeah.
Some people like sweet tea. Some people like unsweet tea. Some people like the Arnold Palmer, which is the 50-50 lemonade sweet tea. Yeah, that's me. I like that.
Well, I'm just
That's not
saying.
any kind of euphemism for anything. That's just the Arnold Palmer is really good.
So, like, historically, I feel like you look at the past 15 years and they put on more stinker rumbles than good.
Yep.
Most of the time when somebody wins a rumble, I feel like most of the time when a rumble's good, it's like I was just saying, a lot of times based on the winner, and they haven't got somebody that's organically over at the level of like somebody like a Daniel Bryan. Who's the next guy? I know Braun Breaker's going to be the guy that they're going with, but as opposed to Braun Breaker, you always had, opposed to a guy like John Cena, you always had like a Randy Orton, a Stone Cold. You had The Rock. Who's the number two guy that's going to pop up that may be the more organically over with the crowd? I don't see anybody that's going to be that guy right now. Can you think of one?
No, not really. I mean, Breaker, he
No,
is
I'm saying
organically over with the crowd.
who's the other. I'm he's somewhat manufactured. I'm not saying he's not over,
Yeah.
but like with somebody like a Daniel Bryan, they got themselves over. It's all
Yeah, okay, somebody that they're forcing the WWE's hand on. Yeah, there's not really. I think he was kind of the last person, and I think that they've made it in such a way now that
Yeah.
that really can't happen as easily.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I feel like Io Sky is probably the female version of that to some extent, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Random thought. I hope I didn't leave my deli sandwich in the car earlier when I came home, and that I brought it in and put it in the fridge.
Did you want to go check?
Nope. Well, it's too late now either way,
Oh, okay.
so I'll wait to be disappointed until the end of the show or happy. And instead of, it's better to not know, because if I know, then it'll put me in a bad mood for the rest of the show. Fuck it. I think it's in the fridge though. I just can't remember.
So, we were going to make some predictions, but we'll move to that here in a minute.
Yep.
If you could make a prediction of people being happy or upset with the Rumble, what would it be?
Well, I would say this year's Rumble is going to be above average, and people will be mostly happy with it.
Oh, okay. So you think that they're going to put on a good one? Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I'm hoping. I'll be optimistic with you too, and we'll both agree with that one if you want.
Hell yeah, that sounds good. Come on, prove us right here, WWE.
Please
Yeah.
please do that, because this is kind of the beginning of WrestleMania season, and you need to start off strong.
Right? If this event goes well, the hype's going to be, super off the charts for tomorrow. And obviously you have to deliver then too. But yeah, I mean, you like TJ said, this is the start of WrestleMania season. You really want to start it off on an insane foot. And I'm really looking forward to this
Same here.
show.
Favorite
Even though there hasn't been a ton of build for it.
favorite pay-per-view of the year. Hopefully there's not a ton of build, because there's going to be a ton of surprises. I know that's usually not how that goes, but maybe that's going to be the case with this one.
Yeah.
You want to break it down?
Well, you want me to do my prediction first for the winner of the men's match here?
Yeah,
All right.
we'll go back and forth. So we're going to be doing
Okay.
some Royal Rumble predictions here, guys.
Some of these might be the same. Some of them may not be. It just is. It's not because we're being lazy.
Nature of the
It's just, who you think is going to exactly nature of the beast type of situation. The men's winner, I went with Breaker. And I think TJ's might have been the same. I'm not sure. Well, should we talk about how we arrived at this conclusion, or are we just doing this fast?
I feel like the winner's probably the one that we should explain. So,
Okay.
It just seems like that's the direction they're going. He beat Punk. They're definitely Punk beat him. So they're doing that for a reason. That's not just a match to just happen. It's going to be the rematch, and the rematch is going to be big. And this Punk wants to put this guy over. The only thing that has me questioning it is Logan Paul on last night's show said that since we're all in the Rumble, we should put all our efforts into having Braun win. So maybe they're going to do that, and Logan's going to fuck him over. Who knows?
Some sort of treachery, that could happen.
But I'm leaning towards the safe bet with Breaker. It makes all the sense in the world. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with all of that. It makes sense, and it's just the trajectory that they have had him on for a while here. It feels like that this is the time
he's
to try to pull the trigger. Right, he's young, but he's not too young, and he can just.
Well, we're watching it right in front of us. It's happening like right in front of us right now, and he's ready.
This is one of those cool times to be watching
transition.
Somebody's career. Yeah, you can see when you can, because you don't always get to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens, but you don't realize that it's happening. This is one of those times where you're it's like, oh wait, this is that time. Hell yeah.
Well, in my opinion, this is going to be like the next Cena Reigns type level guy for him. So we're watching it happen right now, and they're handling it way better than Reigns' transition to this. So not bad. Yeah. People are going to turn on him if he wins.
Yep. I mean, he just maybe being a Steiner helped him a little bit more than being Rikishi's son and the nephew of Yokozuna. But I mean, it's still a pretty big deal. Son of the Wild Samoans, pretty big deal there too. Anyway,
probably the biggest family in wrestling. When it comes to like sheer numbers.
Yeah.
But all right.
Well, Yeah.
Final four.
Itchy nose there. Okay. Will you tell me yours first?
Okay. That's funny. I put it in the wrong spot, but we got it. It's there.
That's okay.
And I put Breakker, Brock, Logan Paul, and Cody.
Well, that's pretty solid final four, and that's a logical final four. There's some overlap in ours, but there it also isn't. I picked Cody. There's some overlap there, and Roman. I think Roman is gonna be in a little later, so I think he'll be one of the last guys in the match. And I pulled a wild one here, and I went with Jericho, and then. Obviously, if we think Breakker's going to win, he's got to be one of the final four. So, Breakker, of course.
Yeah, I think that's all pretty solid. I can't argue with that. I feel like
The last time Jericho showed up in the Rumble, he was in it
time.
for like 47 minutes or something.
He's not coming back to play around. He's coming back to, hey, Hunter, I want to get some guys over, but can I have a little bit of fun first?
Yeah. So, this could happen.
He could end up with an Intercontinental Championship at some point again. They're not going to give him the world title, but I'm sure they want to give him a little nice send off. And who knows how long this run's going to be? If it's going to be 2, I think you could expect that first year they'll play with that a little bit. Then the second he'll be putting people over. But
yeah, makes sense.
All right, moving on. We're going to go to the longest time. I put Finn Balor on mine. Or wait. I actually skipped, but we'll go back up. I'm all goofed up.
We'll still go back to that one. Yeah. That's okay.
But yeah, longest time, I think it's going to be Finn Balor, mainly because the stuff he did against Punk, and I think that they're seeing there's interest in him. So, you can still elevate people in the Rumble multiple different ways, and that's one of them.
That's a good choice. I went with Cody because for some reason, I could be misremembering here, but I thought I remembered them saying, or him saying, that he was going to be in the match early or even first, maybe. So,
jeez. He'll be in that corner a lot. All right, so.
Oh yeah, I'm selling.
Most eliminations, I put Reigns.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Pretty logical, depending on where they put him in it. I put Breakker. It's his year to shine, like we talked about. So I just, they probably are going to try to make him look, as badass as possible.
Well, I did Reigns because if he's not going to win, they got to have him do something to shine.
Right, he's got to look strong somehow.
Yep. And then we got the surprise entrant. Who'd you put for that?
Dolph Ziggler.
Oh shit. Yeah, they will have some TNA choices.
There's not a lot of dudes to bring back, you know what I'm saying, of like the old guard anymore. Like they literally have aged out and are just, they're just done.
They have.
Or they're running the fucking show. Like guys like Dolph Ziggler are like a logical surprise kind of choice.
I agree with you.
Plus, like you said, they have the TNA connection.
Yeah, absolutely. I put I guess Royce Keys, which would be Powerhouse Hobbs.
Terrible name. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, but they're definitely having him show up at the Rumble. Like if there's no non-compete clause that's holding him up, yes. Think about what it did for AJ debuting at the Rumble, man.
People knew who AJ was. Yeah, I'm not knocking Hobbs here.
They're not the same caliber of talent, but him showing. That was the perfect debut for AJ, the Rumble. It was huge. It's one of the best Rumble debuts ever.
If enough people pop when he comes out, then it would turn into a pretty good sized one, because people by nature will start cheering if other people are cheering. Like, oh, this must be something important.
That, and they'll have him look like a fucking monster. If they do that and do it right, maybe he'll have the most eliminations. Maybe he'll be more elevated in one night than he was in his entire AEW run. Like we're saying, is probably going to happen in one fucking night. Just wait.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a good surprise.
Yeah.
Both surprises could happen. We could both be right. Who knows?
Yeah, Triple K is going to lay down the boots that night. And I'm telling you, you guys are going to be very surprised about all the black talent that are going to be shining in that Rumble. Obafemi, that might be the guy that's going to eliminate the most eliminations. I didn't even think about that. He's definitely going to be in it.
Yeah, and he hasn't been talked about. That could be another. That's our bonus surprise entrant,
Yeah,
Oba.
absolutely.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Man, we are gonna see some cool people in here. We're gonna have Trick.
What's going to be Brock versus Oba? I think is going to be one of the things they might have, like the standoff, the tease of future.
Cool face-offs. Yeah.
You know how Brock says he wants to retire soon? Maybe that's be
Yeah.
the guy that he tries to hand something to on the way out. But we're going to be on the way out of the men's one here, and we're going to jump on over to the women's. And why don't you tell me who you think is going to win the Royal Rumble on the women's side, Dave?
Well, I said again. Shout out to our homie Tim. He's gonna message me at like 3:30 in the morning when he's listening to this on Discord, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, you shouted out my girl, Liv Morgan is gonna be the women's Rumble winner this year, most assuredly." You heard it here from old Dave first.
So, like, I think I may have typed it to you, but I want to say it on here. So, we're sitting there watching Raw with the boys yesterday, Brandon and Mike, and Liv pops up. And when she pops up, yeah, like Mike looked like he was like, holy shit, who is that?
He was instantly a lot more interested in what was going on.
Yeah, he was really into the show last night. I think he really liked it. And, for somebody that was the last time they really watched was the Attitude Era, that shows you that it probably wasn't that bad of a show.
Yeah, Brandon and I talked about that earlier. You might have been there. You might have been muted. I can't remember. But last night's show was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I started work editing that thing about 11:30, and I did it all day till about 5.
Oh wow, damn.
So did you tune in on the premiere about halfway?
I didn't get to watch all of it.
I did significantly more editing in the beginning than the end because it required it with the way that I was talking about what I was talking about. You'll see that's not that we're getting sidetracked here. Watch it. I think, and let me know what you see. You can be harsh if you need to or whatever. I like the video though. But anyways, my winner, which I think yours is an amazing choice, is Bianca Belair. She has to end up being, my one light.
Has she come back yet?
No, but she's going to show up in the Rumble.
She's going to be the surprise entrant and come back.
Yeah, I think she is. Sorry, but I think my one wire shorting or something over there. I'll have to deal with that later, but it's good for now. But so
that's okay. I'm having a issue with my chair rolling on its own here with these.
So the obvious
rollerblade wheels
is Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill, and she's either going to win the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber to get to Jade, and it'll be a big pop. She's a big baby face. She's kind of like their John Cena type female character. She's already healed up. She's been healed up for about a month and a half. So they've been obviously holding it for a reason, right?
Yeah. This makes sense.
Remember who won it last year? It was a returning Charlotte, right?
Yep.
So I think that you'll see something similar. Triple H kind of has a one-track mind.
Okay.
Final 4.
I could see that. Well, obviously, since I think Liv is going to win, Liv, of course, Rhea will have the returning Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch, who is kind of my 1B winner, believe it or not. But
okay,
I went with Liv because I feel a lot more strongly that Liv is going to do it for some reason. Probably because she was out for so long last year, and they heavily push her.
Anytime she's on camera, it seems like whatever she's in usually works out. She's great, but so I obviously went with Liv as well. Then we had Bianca, who's my pick. Then we had Rhea, who we had the same, so we're 2 out of 4. And then I had Charlotte.
No, believe it or not, I had Charlotte in before I had Tiffany, and then I was like, wait, Tiffany's coming back. They're going to want to showcase her and make her look badass. She's going to be one of the last ones. Charlotte's a good pick, though. That's what I had, too.
I think they're all we both have pretty solid picks there. And then we'll move on to most eliminations here. And we both had the same one in Raquel Rodriguez. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Big Sexy.
Yep.
Big Mommy Cool.
Yep.
Get out there and do work.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. She's definitely going to have one hell of a showing. And,
I love the way that they're featuring and booking her right now. It's great.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hold on, let me mess with this stupid thing for a second. There we go. It's not going anywhere now. So we'll go to longest time here. Who do you think?
I went with Raquel. I feel like she's going to be in there early, and the way that they've been booking her, they want her to look really strong. So I feel like she can be in there for a while. So not only is she going to have most eliminations, she's going to be in there for a while.
All right, good choice. I ended up going with Lyra Valkyria.
Earth Lady.
I know that her push is kind of like halted a little bit, but I don't think they've given up on her. And usually they let the little workhorse person stay in for a while. So, and I think that'll be her this year.
Yeah, it helps people organically notice what they're doing more. So that like, oh, I got to watch this girl for a while. You're paying attention to what she's doing more because you have to.
Yeah,
makes sense.
And then we got the surprise entrant, which mine was Trish. I feel like they bring her out every year, so or every couple.
That's a good surprise. I said again. Mine's a good surprise, and I think that I'm right here. And if I am, it's going to be a big deal. I don't know if it'll be a one-off, but it'll be a huge pop. And I went with Paige. Folks that may not be watching back then, or for whatever reason don't know that Soraya. For the folks that don't know, but yeah, Paige, she'll be back.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid pick there, and that if you're right, we'll come back to this, and
She's been training.
I'll bet you. So I won't do any kratom if she doesn't show up, and then if she does show up, you won't do any kratom.
How about none of us do any kratom?
That's what it is. It was a joke. It's set up so we.
Okay. You double.
Yeah.
Negative fooled me or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was just joking, but yeah, we'll take a shot or we'll do something. We'll
fool me once.
Or maybe we'll just hit the pin. We'll figure something out. But yeah, we're gonna come back and look at all of our predictions. By the way,
we will.
I think.
And if we're right, somebody has to suck it.
No, that's not happening. If you talk about the pin, if we're sucking the pin, yeah. I'm holding mine up now. This pin right here.
The pen is.
No, just the vape pen. But I think we both had really solid picks, though. I'm happy with both of ours. I feel like they're solid, and I hope they surprise us. I hope we're all wrong. So we're those are the best rumbles where you're surprised.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that being said,
we'll see him in the Rumble too. We didn't bring him up in anything. Sorry, old LA.
I hope he wins.
I hope you have a good showing.
I hope he wins.
Honestly, I hope that you win over Breaker 100%. That's probably not going to happen, but it would still be awesome. So, shout out to LA Knight.
All right, so we got one more Rumble thing going on.
Whole lot of Royal Rumble. Well, I mean, technically, there's an additional Royal Rumble thing after this, but it's part of the gaming deal. But that's like a later thing.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, so we're getting all the Royal Rumble stuff in for you guys because it's that time, and it's you get it in when the getting's good.
So we got an announcement here to make. Why don't you go ahead and tell them about it, Dave?
Well, we're going to be announcing here the OverMark Royal Rumble post-show live. After the Royal Rumble ends, we're going to do a live here on YouTube. So if you make sure that you're subscribed and you have your little notification bell thingy turned on, you won't miss it. Or just make sure that, a minute or two after the Royal Rumble, just be there refreshing the channel, and we'll be on there.
We'll actually probably be on watching the Rumble, but
that's right. We did talk about watching the.
But that's not the official thing of what we're calling it. Really, this is a post show, but we'll be reacting to the main event.
Yeah. Hopefully, the main event is the men's match, but it might be the title match. I don't know. We'll see.
But yes, so we'll hopefully get. I'm hoping the last one's just the Royal Rumble match, the men's.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll watch that, and then we'll go right into that, do the post show. It'll all be one show, but we'll do the post show, and then we'll just break down everything if we're right or wrong, and you guys can join along, and you can let us know what you thought of the show. We'll let you know, and it'll be some instant bullshitting back and forth.
Yeah. We'll let you know what we thought about what you thought. If what you thought doesn't align with what we thought,
It's going to be a fun night.
keep that in mind.
It's going to be a fun night. Hopefully,
Dissenting opinion. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously.
yeah. Hopefully, me and Dave are all messed up. Maybe we'll do a drinking game or something. I doubt it, but we'll
I'll
see.
tell you what. I'm gonna be all messed up off of sharp cheddar,
Oh hell yeah!
Vermont white.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
Well, that sounds like a plan.
I love cheese.
So do I. Another thing that I think we both love.
What's that?
Um, I don't know if we love it, but we're gonna move on to that Mount Rushmore segment. I didn't have a good cutaway to that.
Well, what if we had a Mount Rushmore
Of cheese,
replica made of cheese? Yeah,
I think that'd be pretty nice.
yeah. Overmark logo of cheese. If we ever have some kind of event,
Oh yeah, we will. One of these days when Overmark's this big old brand of something, we'll get a brand of cheese
we'll have them make us a pizza with the Overmark logo on it as pepperonis.
and bullets.
What? No, I don't want bullets on
You
the
know
pizza.
that Arnold thing. He's like, if you want pepperoni and bullets, you've come to the right place.
Oh, yeah. No bullets, Arnold. Hold the lead, please.
Well,
Well,
go ahead.
anyway, would you like to go first?
Yeah, why not?
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Take it home, TJ.
this is like, obvious by me and Dave having our own selections, but this is mine and his personal Mount Rushmores, not the Overmark Mount Rushmore. We could maybe do something like that later where we agree on one, but this is separate. So, I don't know.
Maybe if we do the before you get into that, maybe if we do like the Overmark Mount Rushmore, we'll do that when we have a bunch of fan activity, and
Yeah.
we'll open it up to a voting
Okay.
in the Overmark Mount Rushmore as voted by the
the
people.
fans. All right.
We can vote in it as well, but yeah, we'll turn it into a community deal, a poll, if you will.
Okay. But that being said, let me jump into this. So these are going to be the same for the most part, but we got a Stone Cold, then we got Hogan, then we got Flair, then we got Daniel Bryan. I know the Daniel Bryan thing is a little bit different for some people, but he's like one of my favorite wrestlers ever, and he's super great. And I feel like when we look back on him in time, that he's going to be looked at pretty fondly.
There's not a lot of modern guys that you could put on there that I wouldn't scoff at in relation to guys that are being left off, but Daniel Bryan is a good choice. Yeah, I mean, he's great.
He's a man.
He is definitely a future Hall of Famer and great. All of those can be used in the same sentence as Daniel Bryan without question. That's a good choice. All of those are good choices, obviously.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Well, of all of the stuff for the show today, I think this is the thing that I took the most time for me, and I had to really think about it. And then I remembered something that Hogan said one time, and I'm going to go with using something that he used and then apply it to myself here. So I'm going to start off by saying Flair is the mountain.
Yeah, brother.
We're going to insert the Space Mountain joke here. I don't know which one you want, but he is the mountain, and that all of these other guys are built on. Hogan would tell you that. I've heard him say that in radio interviews. That Flair is the mountain, and then he proceeded to name his four guys. So I thought that was a good way to go with it, and it lets you get five people in without getting five people in, because you just say that he is the mountain or the foundation that the entire thing is built on. So Flair is the mountain, Hogan, Austin, Undertaker, and Bret Hart. I mulled back and forth between Bret Hart and The Rock. It was super hard to not put him on here, but I just love Bret Hart so much, that just for me personally, that puts him ahead of The Rock. So
Hell yeah.
Bret Hart.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the Rock would have almost got mine, but it's like, when I look at it, it's, I feel like Austin would have, probably not been as big without The Rock, but he would have been pretty close. Whereas without Austin, The Rock wouldn't have been nearly as big.
Right. The Austin brought, not that The Rock couldn't get to the next level, but Austin brought Rock to his level, which was a level above the next level. I feel.
Yeah.
I think history has shown us that that's accurate. What did you think of my cheater strategy that I stole from Hogan?
I liked it. That's pretty good.
I think that'll be my standard
Hell yeah.
going forward. When people ask me that, it's just going to be this.
I think it sounds super educated and like you've thought about it. So it's
I tried.
I was thinking some people would be like, "Oh shit, all right."
Yeah. And some people will be critical because they'll be like, "Oh, well, that's just your way of getting 5 in there." It is,
Well,
but also it's true.
well,
So
fuck them.
yep.
But
Anyway,
I think
speaking of fuck,
I think
there's
we
going to
got
be some people getting fucked in this next segment. Why don't you? Sorry. Anyway, what were you going to say?
I think we got some exciting shit to talk about here.
We do.
So this is we're doing 5 today. We're trying to end this at a certain date, and we'll let you guys know when that's going to be here soon. I don't know if we said the exact date already, but we have this planned
Internally,
out. No, I know. So we don't let them know. It's a surprise, but we have this set up for a reason. You guys will enjoy it when the time comes. It'll all seem like it makes sense, but we're not giving anything away. And this is what we're just doing, a certain amount of eliminations and matches to match up to the date that we want. And again, it will make sense in the end. But we have some pretty exciting matches that we're going to be going through here on the first round of matches on the OverMark Greatest Tag Team Tournament, round 1. So we got 5 matches, like I said, and we're going to jump into the first one here. And I think this is going to be an awesome match. So it's the Outsiders versus Judgment Day. And right away, they kind of got the same vibe, both kind of like rebel-type groups, heels, cheered by the fans, seeming like they're cool-type characters. What do you think about this match, Dave?
Well, before we get into that, I have a couple of questions. I think. Is this excuse me, WCW Tag Team Champions Outsiders? Do they have the belts with them, or do they not?
Yeah, peak.
Okay, because I think that adds a little bit of extra cool factor when they have the belts. And not that they were less cool, but yeah, okay. So they have the WCW Tag Team Championships, so they're coming out looking extra cool. You get the Scott Hall Surfer Walk, the music, the whole deal. This is a cool match. There's definitely outside interference from both sets of teams that ends up leading to who ends up winning.
We break it down real fast a little bit, like professional style.
Well, sure.
Oh, let me give you my attempt at that, whatever that might be, Dave.
Okay. And then I'll stab in because maybe there'll be some ideas I have. I'm sure, maybe. Who knows? Let's go.
So we got the Outsiders. They're way bigger. We got the Judgment Day. They're smaller. The Judgment Day being Finn Balor and JD McDonough, by the way. And right off the bat, you got the power moves from the Outsiders hitting them hard. They're trying to take these guys out right away. You got Big Kev, and they're controlling Finn in the corner. And they won't let him out. They're just beating him up. They keep tagging in and out. You're getting the big boot. You even got you didn't get them doing their finishers, but they're doing a lot of big power moves.
Their signature move, Kevin Nash is giving them the knee in the corner and the elbow in the corner, and then he's doing the hair flip.
Yeah.
Scott Hall's giving him the sack of shit, the fall away slam.
So
that sort of thing.
Eventually, Finn's able to get out. He's getting the shit beat out of him. Crowd's ruined to it, and he's finally able to get out, get that hot tag, and then JD comes out. And he ends up doing a little bit of hitting him. He actually knocks Scott Hall out of the ring when Scott ends up having him running against the ropes. And he trips up Big Kev a little bit, manages to somehow miraculously knock him off his feet when he jumps up to the top rope, gets him with a drop kick. But then, once it seems like he's really getting the stuff, Scott gets back into the ring, gets him the big kick when he's coming off the ropes, gets him with the razor's edge, pushes him out of the ring. Finn was over in the corner, tried to jump on Big Kev. Big Kev catches him, puts him down with the jackknife powerbomb, and that's it. He pins him with stepping on him. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Well, we didn't get any outside interference from Dom or Six.
Add that in.
Dom outside interfered, and so did Six.
I have a terrible memory.
We still got the same outcome. That's okay. How are we supposed to remember all this shit? Yeah. Oh, we probably should have made notes. Sorry, everybody. We're not a professional show, but we are a show nonetheless.
Yeah, that's true. But all right, so
you have an option for shows when you're listening to shows. So thank you for listening to this one.
Yeah, we appreciate it. But we got match 2. Why don't you break that down for us, Dave? Midnight Express versus the Usos.
We got a high-flying extravaganza here. You know, the Midnight Express are doing a lot of quick tags, a lot of high flying. The Usos are doing a lot of super kicks, a lot of yeeting. This is overall a clean match. There's not any kind of outside interference or anything like that. These are two babyface teams working each other, which really you only get a lot of that on like qualifying matches or tournaments or things of that nature. There's not usually a lot of babyface versus babyface opportunities or heel versus heels, but you get that here. Usos ultimately end up winning clean off of like a super kick, frog splash kind of combo.
Cornette interferes.
He does. He called
hit him with the rack.
Words. And he hit Jay in the back with the racket. He definitely did.
But yeah,
the referee didn't see it. He was distracted because Jimmy was trying to get into the ring to stop the interference. And of course, you know that old gag where so Cornette got him with the racket.
But yeah, by the way, it's Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton, by the way, because there's multiple versions of this team. Just so that's the one that we're going with, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Sorry about that, everybody. We I forgot to get that in there.
But yeah, overall, high-flying match, really fast pace, and it could have lasted longer, but Jim cut it off about halfway, and he came and whacked. No. He tried to hit one of the Usos, but they got out of the way. Then he ended up hitting Bobby, and that's where they got the pin from. Does that sound about right?
That does sound right.
Jim fucked.
Old Jim. God damn it, Jim.
Yeah. But overall,
he's not going to like that we booked it that way.
Well,
sorry, Jim. We love you.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Jim took a bump on the outside afterwards.
Yep.
But speaking of taking some bumps, you might want to take one before you hear what we're going to say next. But we got the Young Bucks versus Demolition. What do you think about that, Dave?
Well, I think that if I was younger when the Young Bucks came out, that I might be more inclined to be excited about them participating in this. But however, I am excited about Demolition. Very cool tag team from when I was a kid. I enjoyed their gimmick very much, as I'm sure many young fans did at the time.
Absolutely.
What did you? How did you feel about old Demolition?
They were all right. More into the Road Warriors and everything at the time. You know, it's like you see them and you're just like,
right. They wish that they could have been the Road Warriors.
But speaking of that, break down the match a little bit. Bucks are kind of all over them. They're out of the way, dipping and diving, going out of the ring, hitting from the top rope. Demolition gets a couple big moves here and there in between it, but the Bucks actually control a good amount of this. They cheat a couple times because you know this is them as heels and everything with the AEW belts. But out of nowhere, one of the Bucks tried to go up top, and one of the guys from Demolition end up just pushing them off, and they just use I'm not an expert on Demolition, by the way, as you can probably tell, but they end up.
I forgot the name of their finisher, but they hit him with their finisher after he shoves him off the top rope. And surprise, the Bucks lost in the opening round of the tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think people saw that coming, but it came, and here it is.
But yeah, there might be a little bit of update here on that match a little bit later in the tournament. But for now,
interesting post match stuff. But well, who knows?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on, and we'll get back to that. We'll do match 4, and it's the Briscoe brothers versus the Funks. And this is an awesome matchup here.
Oh yeah, I mean this would definitely be, unfortunately for these guys on both sides, this is a regular tag team rules match and not a anything goes Texas Tornado or anything like that, because I would say that they do everything that you can to each other within the confines of a standard wrestling match that you can legally get away with, plus the kitchen sink when nobody's looking.
Bust each other up in a couple times. They take the turnbuckles
there's
off.
Color.
There's some tables involved. The ref ends up taking a bump. There's tons of blood everywhere. It's just kick and drag. This isn't much of a wrestling match. This is a fight between two teams, two brothers.
I mean, yeah, I would say that everybody has seen the Briscoes and the Funks, and this isn't to slow or shorten our description. This is just to paint the picture of, what you're looking at when we're describing what we're describing when it comes to these guys. It's a barn burner.
How many times can I tell you what a guy taking some brass knucks out of his pants and hitting a guy in the jaw looks like? There'll be a little bit of that, but overall, super awesome match. Probably
might be the best match of the tournament in terms of match quality.
Yeah. You mean round 1 or the whole thing?
I mean, maybe the whole thing. We'll have to see when we get to there, but it definitely of round 1 is probably the best match of round 1. Yeah, obviously there's still more matches to go in round 1, but yeah, it's
the most bloody match, I think.
Yeah. Definitely.
Overall, this would be can't miss. Out of the round 1, this would probably be the one that people would like the most. But we can move on to, I think, another one that we said the winners, by the way. It's the Briscoe brothers.
The winners we did not. The winners would be the Briscoe brothers,
and it would just be from exhaustion and Dory maybe eventually ends up just collapsing, and Terry just won't give up, but they make him pass out. Sound about right?
They just hit him with the finisher one last time, and he's done. Yep.
Then we got the New Day versus the New Age Outlaws. In an awesome match. This is both their guys in their peak. We're going to use Big E here, right? And Xavier?
I would think Kofi and Xavier.
Maybe they got to counter Billy somehow, right? How are they going to do that without Big E? Billy's fucking huge.
That's true. No, that's true. They'll use Big E for this, and that'll come into play later, maybe.
Remember we talked about they can use Freebird rules here. Same with the Freebirds. Well, I mean, can do it too. They're in the tournament as well, so we could have some mixed up versions of this, depending.
Yep. So we're gonna have Big E versus yeah. I love trying to thought there, but you know what I'm saying.
It's going to be Big E and Xavier, Big E and Kofi would be the better version, right? Okay, Big E and Kofi versus Brian James and Badass Billy Gunn.
Yo, that actually it makes sense. And then Xavier's on the outside with his little trombone thing.
Well, China's out there too.
Yeah, so they all have their outside interference people.
Yeah, but there's all kinds of shenanigans. There's some pancakes tossed. China ends up eating some pancakes. You said the trombone does get involved.
Yep.
But yeah,
they said that her butt looks like a pancake.
The New Age Outlaws come out doing their "oh, you didn't know" thing. Pretty by the books match. They actually play a lot of it in the ring. There's a little bit of interference, but it's nothing too crazy. Just a small amount. Yeah, the New Day win.
They did. New Day rocks.
Yeah, they come out on top. Big E was actually the big thing here. he runs Brian James through the table on the outside. This is the last match of the night for the tournament. So this is the one, you know, where the table gets smashed through, and they're outside.
Send the fans.
Yeah, they're outside fighting for a little bit, but overall most of it's inside. And awesome, good match. Nothing to really keep hyping on there.
We sound like Tony Khan. Every
Yeah.
match was a good match.
What do you do? We're not going to say they're bad, but overall.
Well, I mean, also though, I mean, all of these are good teams, so of course it's
Yeah.
not going to be good.
But overall, good night. Round one, wouldn't you say, Dave?
I do, and I did, and we did.
Yeah, I think we did. And I think we hope you can look forward to round two. There's going to be some twist. Oh, hold on. We're not done yet. So Demolition won, but they ended up getting, one of them ends up getting injured. He ended up getting an ACL tear. So the Bucks, by default, continue on. So they will be continuing on even though Demolition lost. We told you there'd be some twists and turns, and we already got one, actually two, with the Freebird rule being enacted in the first round.
Yeah. You know, I didn't have the news thing, but yeah, breaking news. Demolition's out. Young Bucks move in.
Yeah, they do. We told you there'd be twists. We told you there'd be turns. And I got a turn for you, Dave.
Oh no.
This picture.
What's that? Oh boy.
So we got the segment So Nice. We're gonna do it twice in a row. This is the second week we've done this in a row, and I thought it'd be funny to. So I haven't looked at Dave's yet. Dave's looked at mine, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he got for me here. But so we the one that I got here is old Hulk Hogan in a pair of Jinko jeans, a fanny pack with his son. You can't really see his son in this. He's holding his hand, but I mean, what the fuck? Come on, you know.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome image.
Yeah, I mean, look at him. He just looks like a fucking asshole. Like, I don't know
Hey,
any other way
I
to put it.
like that.
Yeah, but you're not Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, well, you know, I wish I was kind of.
Who told him to do this? Because you know this wasn't his everyday get up. He just tried this
Definitely.
once.
Definitely his son.
You think so?
He's like, Dad, those pants are cool. You should get them.
Oh, yeah, brother.
He's like, yeah, you're right, Nick. That would be cool.
You see where he's fucking up? He's not dragging the back bottom. You're not officially wearing those Jinkos unless you're fucking that back bottom up.
He might be. It's hard to tell from this angle.
You know, his son could be in those pants. That's how big they are.
Yeah, he's in the pocket. That's why you can't see him.
Oh shit! Or he could be in the fanny pack. Who knows? He's prepared.
Yeah. I mean, all the wrestlers still carry fanny packs. You can put all your shit in there and carry it around easily and not set it down and lose it, or you know, it's just a convenient way to carry your shit. For people that don't know, I'm sure TJ remembers this. In the 90s, fanny packs were like
they were it.
Super popular. And then they started calling them a thing that I will not repeat on the air here. But it was a something bag. That's all we'll say. And yeah, they don't call it that anymore.
No, they do not.
Well, let's scroll on down to my image here, and why don't you feast your eyes on this?
Oh shit! What the fuck? You got to be a picture of Dimebag here.
Yeah. Well, you know, there was a few reasons that I picked this picture. Obviously, since we were doing the Mount Rushmore wrestlers, I used that as my thought process here. I was like, I'm going to go to the Mount Rushmore of metal guitarists, and Dimebag is on there without question. I got a thing here. What's going on? Let's see. And so this particular picture, there used to be a
guitar.
I'm sure there'll be some people out there with hurtfilioma over it, but Dime wasn't that kind of guy. It just is what I mean. You know, he was just a Southern dude. But anyway, I had a magazine with this exact picture in it, when I was a kid. And you know how it is when you have magazines when you're a kid. You don't have a ton of them, but so you kind of will look through the same one a million times. Look at the pictures. This was a picture that I looked at a million times. Dime was one of my heroes growing up, and it always seemed like he was having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these metal dudes seem like super serious and like, they're trying to be like all aggro and shit. Dime just seemed like he was cool and having a good time always. And I feel like that comes across very well in this picture.
I'm going to hit one for Dime.
Hell yeah. Get you a pull, as he would say, Drink a black tooth, which is Seagram's and Sprite? Coke? Fuck, I forgot. It's been so long.
I'm glad that's the picture you chose, though. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's the man.
He was always rocking the camo shorts.
Gone too long, or gone too soon.
Yeah. Seems the way of a lot of guitar heroes.
Yeah.
Or musical heroes in general. Whether it be, through some sort of misadventures, we'll say, or otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man. Hulk Hogan was a man too. I think there might have been a time where Hulk Hogan and Dimebag, with Hulk Hogan in that gear, could have seemed like maybe they hung out.
Probably. I bet you at some point they probably met.
Hogan met everybody.
Yeah.
But
well, speaking of meeting everybody, let's
perfect transition.
Yep. Thank you. We'll move on here. And we got Will Hobbs transitioning to Royce Keys, I guess.
That's his new name.
I'm not a fan of it necessarily. I hope that's something else. That's going to probably be his name, though. I'm stoked for him that he's
just
going to be. Yeah, he should. Something Hobbs. They would have to change it from Powerhouse, but
just Hobbs.
Just have it be Hobbs.
Yeah.
Fuck. Batista. Hello. Anyway, obviously there are all the reports out there that he's officially signed with WWE. TJ predicted him in the Rumble. I think he's going to probably be more of an NXT thing, but you never know. They might have him.
Even if he's in NXT, they got to show off their big new signing.
Right? Like they could have him in the Rumble just to be.
They're petty.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a cool moment. I hope that you're right on that.
But yeah, they haven't even said anything about it yet, but they're not going to because they want the surprise. But I mean, he's not in AEW, and I can promise you, he didn't leave AEW to go to TNA or NJPW.
No,
he's going to WWE. It's just when.
100%.
I think this is one of the guys that for years people thought would be better used in WWE, mainly because they use bigger guys better. And, he's just, there's too many people in the AEW roster that are on the screen at the same time. Everybody's in groups, it's not saying he's not going to.
A lot of action.
Yeah. Not saying he's not going to be in a group in a WWE, but, he just didn't really have a lot of time to shine. And it seems like maybe when he did, he got hurt. So it's kind of bad timing to some extent. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him in there. He seems like he's a talented guy, and I don't think AEW was the best fit for him. He left for a reason, right?
Yep. Well, the last contract there was rumblings that he might be, but he went back, and obviously it's time for him to move on, and it's time for us to move on to our next segment. How'd you like that transition, TJ?
Even better.
Well, wrestlers that you would want backing you in a real fight. This is a cool concept, and I'm going to go ahead and steal the first one here, and then I'll kick it over to TJ. When I was thinking about this, I basically wanted to pick the same people that TJ picked. So, spoiler alert, we picked different people. I wanted to pick different people. So, my first wrestler would be Haku, of course. I mean, he's regarded as one of the baddest ass dudes in any locker room of all time. Could Brock take him in a fight? Sure. but he's probably going to lose an eye or something. Nobody's going to leave a fight with Haku the same way that they went into it. Like you're paying. So Haku is one of them, and then for the other one, yeah, I'm kind of cheating here a little bit, but technically he was a wrestler. He wrestled in Mexico and in WWE. Cain Velasquez, right?
It's a good choice.
Yeah,
he beat Brock in MMA.
He beat the shit out of Brock in the UFC, and he legit tried to shoot a guy on the highway that diddled one of his young relatives.
Yeah, he's a real deal.
I'm not fucking with Cain Velasquez.
I think those are two awesome picks. And, I went with Brock. I feel like that's an obvious choice. He was the heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC, but so was your guy. So it's, you probably cancel me out on that one. But then I went with Kurt Angle for the second one, which I don't know. I mean, apparently,
that's tough.
Apparently in pure wrestling, Kurt was able to beat anybody in the locker room back in the day. He could take
Even
anybody
Brock?
down. Yeah. He probably end up wearing Haku out because, if Haku's going for eyes, I feel like Kurt probably go for the eyes too. I mean, he had a broken freaking neck. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree that your team would probably win.
No,
hopefully
they cancel each other out. I feel like
that's fair.
I feel like Kane beats Brock, but Kurt might beat Haku.
Yeah.
Maybe
Haku's
not.
going for like fish hooks and shit.
Hey, if you're going to start cheating
He'll
against
fight
Kurt,
you.
Kurt's a winner. I'm sure he's cheated a lot in his professional or his amateur wrestling career to get, that's how it goes.
Well, I mean,
you're not
objectively,
you're not trying
well,
if you're not cheating.
Not objectively. The shots that they gave him in his neck so that he
The
could
cortisone or
participate
whatever?
in the Olympics are now banned, and you can't do that anymore in the Olympics. So
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
not
depending
then.
on who you ask, but they weren't banned then. That's right.
Yeah, so he wasn't
And
cheating.
ultimately, that didn't make him able to wrestle better or fucking
Yeah, the skill.
yeah. It's not like he was doing fucking steroids or something.
I mean,
like, shoot me up with steroids before I go out there and wrestle this guy. Ah!
Who knows? That was
I mean, if Kurt Angle was on steroids in the Olympics, fucking
they're probably.
I would be shocked. I feel like he would be a lot bigger.
Yeah, he was a lot
I don't know.
smaller when he was in the Olympics than he was in his WWE career for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably on steroids when he was in WWE.
Yeah, who wasn't?
But
Back then.
yeah, but probably not when he was actually wrestling.
Yeah. But that was a pretty nice one. I enjoyed that segment.
Yeah.
I won't want to get in a fight with any of those guys. They would fucking kill me.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, here's my jacket, sir. It won't fit any of you, but you can have it.
Yeah, or take whatever you need. I'm out of here. But speaking
Can
of,
I just keep my ID? That's of no use to you.
no, they want that too.
Oh.
But you gave me one there. Speaking of ID, I think we both ID'd this earlier in the year. But we got Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee, and apparently that's the WrestleMania plan. So the reports are indicating that WWE is currently locked in on Becky versus AJ for WrestleMania 42. Me and you guessed that months and months ago, like right when they started interacting. That's the obvious choice, right?
Yep.
I think,
and she kind of been gone for a while, and then
Yeah.
anytime that she's come back, it's been like some kind of just slight interference or distraction
Yeah,
against
with
Becky,
Becky.
and then she kind of fucks off again.
I think Larry had something to do with it to some extent too. She's probably
Yeah.
fucked up because of that. But WrestleVotes Radio is the one that brought this up first, and it's started getting circulated through Fightful Select, and they're usually pretty good about their dirt sheet rumoring, at least way better than Dave is, I believe. But I think it's one of the more for sure things that's going to be happening at Mania this year. It's expected to be a singles match, but it could be tied into some kind of women's intercontinental three-way or some other thing. But it's probably just going to be a singles.
And it'll be a good match too, quality.
They're saying she's going to pop up in the Rumble, so maybe she'll be in the Rumble, or who knows, maybe she'll screw Becky out of some kind of match. But
It's entirely possible. I hadn't considered that. Of course, she'll be in the Rumble. Damn.
yeah,
Yep.
maybe she'll even
Well-
be in the Final Four. Who knows?
Yeah. Potentially.
She'll eliminate
Well-
Becky.
Oh no, yeah, or Becky will eliminate her. There'll be
Yeah.
some kind of something that sets up something.
Continuation.
Yep. Well, speaking of continuation, we're going to continue to move on here, and we got a Steve Austin possible return, maybe. There are new rumors out there saying that Stone Cold could possibly be coming back in some capacity. There's nothing official from WWE, but there's all kind of speculation pointing towards a Royal Rumble weekend appearance, some sort of WrestleMania season involvement or a special segment, not necessarily a match, but realistically, if he shows up, it's most likely a promo, glass break moment, stunner segment. Probably not a full return run, although
No.
it'd be bad if we got a. He's talked about that he is getting in shape, and you've seen videos of him training and stuff. Maybe
That's next
he's
year
going
for
to do a
Saudi
match.
Arabia WrestleMania. If any of them, they'll
You
pay
think?
him. Oh yeah, the Saudis. If anybody's going to pay him big money, it'd be then.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Probably returns to set something up for next year.
You know how many like legends that are retired are going to be showing up next year for Mania?
Probably a lot. It's probably going to be
Oh no,
pretty.
they're all going to
pretty
want it. They're all going to want it. Because how are you going to turn down $10 million for one night's work?
No, yeah.
They would pay Austin that. Maybe more. And he would do it.
Oh yeah.
He'd be an idiot to not do it.
Are they allowed to drink there? Could he do the beer thing?
They would allow him. It's up to them. And one of the guys that's pretty much helping run the country runs like that Shiki Al Turk guy is like basically an extension of the government there. So he's
So he'd be
whatever
able
they
to get
want.
away with it. Okay.
You think he's going to
I
tell
don't
Austin he
want-
can't do his beer?
Oh, you no middle fingers, no beers, Mr. Austin.
I don't think that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, their laws and their customs are their laws and their customs, but who knows?
I
imagine, he'd be like,
What? What?
Nope,
I'm
that's
not
the
coming
wrong
if
one.
I don't do the beer. And they'd be like, okay. Not non-alcoholic. Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
Speaking of maybe, that was a shitty transition. How many times is Roman going to return? Something we want to talk about here. They were spouting it, so they hyped up his return for yesterday, and then it never happened. It was just an ad for the Rumble, saying that he was going to be in the Rumble. So his big return yesterday was an announcement for the Rumble where he's going to return.
They promoted a commercial?
Essentially, yeah. How many times has this guy returned in the past year?
Like 4 times.
I think it's been more
5
than that.
times. Well, no, I think that's like all the amount of times that he's come back,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting tired of it, man. Just go away or stay.
Yeah, it kind of makes booking and storytelling a little disjointed because, and I get it. He's worked himself into a position that he can do that, and that's great for him. But it just, it's kind of goofy for the
for shitty
product. And
television.
at this point, there are so many guys either in the main event or that should be in the main event that, he could just be a once a year attraction or
like
something.
the new Undertaker.
Yeah. He beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Make it be like a big annual deal if he's going to return or not, and he does.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a streak because he's lost at WrestleMania.
That's true, but
yeah.
it would still be a big deal if he showed up, and that was the only time he did, because they don't have one of those guys now. So
yeah, you need an annual attraction.
yeah. Maybe that's what we'll see. I doubt it, because I think once he's done, he's going to be done.
I don't think we'll ever get an annual attraction like the Undertaker again,
unless they get a guy that's like Andre, or something like that they actually build up right and they protect. Never going to happen.
Almost. I really hope that they get it right with him.
It's impossible with the way they book the shows these days. It just can't be something that realistically happens. You don't have all these territories to send a guy to build this mystique reputation. And
yeah, Undertaker likes him.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll see.
Good enough for him is good enough for me.
He's a fan.
Not this
Mr.
guy again.
Soprano.
That's the only thing that he's brought up so far.
Taking the gabagool and shit out of the fridge.
Yeah, this is our third co-host, by the way, guys. So it's whatever you.
Sure, it gets complicated when you're taking up your fag ass.
Oh.
Oh.
Trying to get us kicked off the air.
Let's get back to that gabagool.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll do that. And speaking of getting back, we're going to get back. And we got another rousing segment of Push Your Pass here. Dave, who are we talking about today?
Oh, boy, the Ilja Dragunov.
Oh.
Everybody's favorite.
He went to he was in NXT at some point, right?
Yep, bunch of NXT UK titles. You know, he was NXT champion.
Same time as Gunther was in the NXT system.
Yep. He actually beat him.
Yeah, that's right. And he had his WWE debut last year, right? 2025, and then he ended up getting hurt. And then
was it?
I don't know. I guess that this is a little weird, so I could be wrong there. But either way, he ended up getting hurt last year. So he came back, and then they ended up giving him the U.S. title. What was it, October last year? He won it from Sami Zayn, and he ended up losing it to Carmelo Hayes. And I don't know, man. There are some qualities of this guy that aren't bad. He seems like he's decent in the ring, but this guy's like the epitome of every fucking guy these days. Short, same moveset, and just no personality. They're just, I'm wrestling. I'm good at wrestling. Here I am. I'm the wrestler.
He's like a good enough mid-card guy in the best wrestling company in the world. You know, good enough isn't really good enough.
Yeah, like
so to speak.
I hate the way this guy fucking looks. I know that's a really shitty thing to say, but just the way he looks is just they need to put a bag over his head. And just the way he talks, the way he acts, everything about this guy's character and presentation. His hair looks like shit. His head looks like shit. I don't want anything to do with him. I'm passing. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a great guy.
Yep. I'm going to pass as well. Fuck this guy. You know, I'm glad that he got better, but I didn't really want to see him before he went away when he got injured, you know, after separating from Gunther, and I want to see him even less now.
Yeah, so that's a pass from both of us there, and we're going to go ahead and pass on to talking about UFC 324 here, which was a good night of fights. I really enjoyed them. This is the first Paramount event that we had, by the way, with UFC. We talked about this in the build-up, and it was a record-breaking success. They averaged 4.96 million viewers for the main card, and they reached 718 million total households. The event it was headlined by Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, and it peaked at 5.93 million concurrent streams, which is amazing.
That's big numbers for them.
First
it was another positive for them is that they did those kind of numbers, and the bulk of the card was actually pretty exciting. You know, like we had talked about before, I was a fairly lapsed fan, so I didn't necessarily know who all these people were. And you know, a lot of exciting fights, a lot of finishes.
Name-wise, this wasn't a crazy big card. Like, could you imagine if they put McGregor on Paramount? Like, they would have like 20 million views on there.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like maybe more. It's they got a platform now that they could really build this brand with and just make it one of the most popular sports in the world. You know, they could really do that.
I saw people bitching about the commercials, and it's like, dog, you're paying $9 a month for every UFC in the entire library. Like, shut the fuck up about some commercials.
Not only that, when a fight ends early, they're not going to skip. They have a designated time that the fights go on. So they're not just going to skip to the next one. They're going to break down, put commercials in there, and fill the time. And like you just said, is a very relevant point. But when the fights end, I go do something else. And then when the next fight starts, I watch again. So like you can go move on. Like you don't have to sit there and just watch every second and watch the ads. Like it didn't bug me at all. Me and my friends, once the fight ended, we'd move on to something else. You know, me, I'm betting in between the fights. So usually I'm doing like that kind of shit then, and whatever else I eating food. There's plenty of shit to do. And
I'd go get me a big old slice of calzone.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
The 5-minute calzone.
But overall, I'm going to go over this real quick. So the first fight, which was our KO of the night here, awesome fight. It was Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit. Ty Miller knocked him out, round 1, 4:59. So it was like right before the end of the fight.
Literally right
round.
at the bell, dude just smoked him. That's why I got knockout of the night for.
Well, you know,
I feel
another funny thing, the next fight, Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman, also ended right at 4 minutes and 59 seconds. But he, like, it was a little bit different. It wasn't like a flashy knockout. It was more like he wore on him, tired him out, and then started to just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Then we had Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson was like a big favorite, and he ended up losing by knockout as well in the first round. Then we had awesome fight. It was pretty one-sided. Then we had Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukakis. That was also ended in KO, but in the third round. Not a bad fight. A little bit sloppy. We had Edabi Gutiar and Andrei Pulinov. I'm saying those weird. That went to decision. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo for the main fight on the preliminary cards. It was a good fight. It was kind of timid. Umar never lives up to his potential, but he just cruises through these decisions on guys. I enjoyed it, though. High-level fight. And then we went to John Silva versus Arnold Allen. Awesome fucking fight. They beat the shit out of each other.
He did.
Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Rose got robbed. Rose won that fight.
I felt like that too, but maybe I felt like it because it had been so long since I watched it that maybe my.
You know what you're watching.
Okay, I felt the same way. I kind of felt like that she should have won, but that's just two guys' opinion.
Well, she landed more and better strikes, so I don't know how she lost. She ended up getting some takedowns too, from what I remember. But we had Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis, TKO in the second round. I feel like that was a given that it was going to end in a knockout, and it did. Kind of weird. He hit him with a very soft punch to drop him. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. Very close fight. Some people think Song won. I don't. O'Malley barely squeaked it out. Barely. But the right guy won.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley is, he peaked. Doesn't seem like he's improved much in the past 2 years. And he's a solid, great fighter. But he's not like, he's just a level beneath championship caliber at this point. And I don't think he's going to be, he doesn't grapple. So he can't.
They call those guys gatekeepers. I do remember that.
Yeah, but he can't grapple. And when you can't mix grappling in to keep these guys guessing, you're at a disadvantage. And he almost lost because of that in this fight. And then there's no submission, by the way, so we can't give a submission of the night. But here's the fight of the night. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. It was a war. Awesome fucking fight. If you didn't watch it, get that Paramount subscription and watch it. You can watch it right now. Fucking awesome fight, wasn't it, Dave?
It was. It was fight of the night adjacent. No, it was fight of the night. I'm just kidding.
But Justin was an underdog here. Everybody thought Paddy was going to win. I thought he was going to win. And Justin pieced him up for 5 rounds.
Yeah, he took it personally that everybody was saying he was going to lose.
Yeah. But he got another fight of the night bonus. I think he's tied for second right now with a couple other people. But, yeah, I can't wait, man. It's going to be awesome. Or, I don't know why I said that. It was awesome. I can't wait for the next pay-per-view. I like shit in my brain. But why?
I do the same shit.
Well, the next pay-per-view Saturday. They're doing two in a row.
Oh man, it's going to be Royal Rumble day.
Yeah, well, I'll have both on.
I'll watch it the next day. I'm not going to have both on. I'm going to be wanting undivided attention to the Rumble.
But I'm not going to break down the card, really. We'll go over it next week after it happens, since we went over this. Normally, there's never 2 pay-per-views back-to-back, so this is an awkward situation in that case. But, yeah, it's Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez has won a fight, and that was against a guy. So, Volk already beat Lopez. Volk hasn't fought since. Lopez has fought once. Lopez beat John Silva, who was on the card over the weekend. But I think it's going to be the same deal. Volk will just go to a decision. He'll end up getting tagged a couple times. Diego Lopez is really talented, has really heavy hands, but I think the same outcome's going to come. And maybe Volk has him even figured out a little bit better. He's going to be super prepared. He always is. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be more of one of those, like, it's going to be in Australia. And anytime they have one of those international cards, they end up just loading it with a lot of talent that might not deserve a pay-per-view. spot, like tied to Ivasa. I think he's like 0-5 in his last like 5 fights, but he's popular in Australia, so put him on the Australian card.
Well, that makes sense, I suppose.
Yep. But that's about it. Awesome night of fights. Looking forward to the next week either way, and we'll cover it after it happens.
We will, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I guess on that note, I'll get off of Amazon here and we'll move on. I got a notification that one of my things was on sale. Not a big deal.
Oh, okay.
My deodorant went from $13 to $8.
Oh, you gotta
I
get
the
that.
2-pack.
Yeah.
So as soon as that shit pops up, you gotta scoop that up. Elsewise, it sells out really fast.
I bet.
Yeah.
But speaking of selling out very fast, we got the Channel 3 gaming segment here that we're going to dive right into. And
that's a great segment.
Yeah, this is going to be on the WWF Royal Rumble. So, you guys have heard of this game before, right? It was for the Genesis and the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to have a little gameplay that we're going to show of this while we talk about it a little bit. But they had different rosters, right, Dave?
They did.
They shared some.
They did. Since I played the Super Nintendo one, I'll tell you the Super Nintendo roster, and then you can tell us the Genesis roster, and then we'll go over the shared one. How's that sound?
Cool.
Okay, well, the Super Nintendo exclusives were Ric Flair, Mr. Perfect, $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Yokozuna, and the Native American Tatanka.
Yeah, it's
pretty
funny
solid roster
Tatanka on there, but he actually was somewhat of a big guy for him back in the day.
He was super over at the time. He was the OG Goldberg insofar as like he was the original street guy.
So he lived about 30 minutes up the road from where I lived in Cumberland in West Virginia. And if you turned it to some certain local channels at the nighttime, it would be playing ads for his wrestling school.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But sorry. And
that's
then
really cool.
Yeah,
that's a cool story.
We got the Genesis exclusive roster here, and that's Hulk Hogan, so the opposite of Flair there, IRS, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the model Rick Martel, and then Papa Shango. Solid little roster between the two exclusive ones there.
Outside of Hogan, I think the Nintendo one has the stronger roster.
I agree with you completely, and we'll move on to the rest of the roster here. And we got Bret Hart, which there's the man right there. Undertaker.
This is a who's who of 90s wrestling, by the way. I mean, this is quality rosters.
It makes sense that these are the guys that are on both of the games, but except one of them. But we got Bret, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Randy Savage, Crush. Like, what the fuck's he doing on there?
And then, maybe we could have got like Papa Shango instead of him,
or Boulder. Why isn't it him? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyways, and then we got Lex Luger. So, but yeah, Lex is the man. He definitely deserves to be on there. He was a pretty big deal at the time. They actually have his name on there as the Narcissist.
The Narcissist Lex Luger, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got heel Lex Luger in here. Mr. Perfect was a really cool one. Yeah. That's awesome that he's in there.
Well, I like how when you go over the characters, it starts playing their music and everything. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. This game was the precursor to WWF Raw. Also, I think it came out for Genesis as well. I know it was definitely out for Super Nintendo. Yeah. I played the shit out of it. But so this was out before that. But this game, I remember specifically. I can't tell you if it was like summer of 92 or 93, but we were in this area called Shady Hills, and played it at this kid's house every day for the whole summer. We just WWF Royal Rumble for hours. So played the shit out of this one.
See, you're a little bit older than me, so me and my friends were playing the N64 wrestling games at that point,
Hell yeah, we did those too, but we were a little older by then.
You just
those are the best. Ones. We'll always say those are the best wrestling games of all time, but yeah, I mean it was really cool to be able to be, fucking 10 years old and you're playing your Super Nintendo and you get to
Yeah. The gameplay
be
in a
the
lot of these
wrestlers you see on TV.
the gameplay in a lot of those games, they didn't have as many options as the N64, and so it was like tight gameplay and all that, and you get really good at them. A little bit easier, but it was harder to master. But that being said, the Super Nintendo version actually kind of had like better defined, more detailed character sprites, and it had a better looking crowd. It's considered the superior version of the game. It had clear sound samples as well. I actually played both of them, and it's definitely true.
Probably true for a lot of games. The graphics may be better, but Genesis would always have like cooler features. For some of the games, like it might be the same game. I'll use Mortal Kombat as an example, for lack of a better one at the moment. The Super Nintendo one definitely looked better, but the Genesis one had blood.
Yeah, well, you could unlock the blood on the Super Nintendo one with a cheat, but I think it was green. I could be wrong.
It didn't look, the Genesis had the better blood, and then you'll notice when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, Super Nintendo was just like, no, go ahead and have the blood.
Well, I feel like the Genesis did have the better sports games. Sega Sports made some pretty good sports games back in the day, and the Super Nintendo had a better color palette, had more colors it could produce.
Yeah, NBA Jam was kind of my one of my favorite sports games back then.
Yeah. Overall,
he's heating up.
Overall, this is a perfect time to talk about this game because we got the Royal Rumble coming up, so it's something that we want to do. I don't know the right way to put it. Just kind of gloss over here because a lot of people forget about these older games, and they're here, and we encourage people to check them out.
Exactly. The stars don't always align for our gaming segment and our wrestling segments to line up. So when they can, it's a cool thing. So this is one of those cool things of, hey, Royal Rumble time, Royal Rumble game.
There it is.
Next.
Check her out.
Easy,
fun game.
Easy dots to connect there, dog. Everybody check it out. Go buy it off of eBay or something, or pawn shop, or get out there and get you a ROM or something. I don't know. However kids get these days.
Legally acquired.
Yeah. You get you the ROM after you have purchased the game.
Yeah, and you've backed it up yourself. But speaking of backup, we're going to go forward. Again, I get these terrible transitions today.
These are great transitions. Don't never tell yourself they're bad. I love them.
All right, but we got our favorite video game art here. So basically, mine's Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I am all about this game. Sorry. This is for Genesis. And why it's my favorite cover. So I looked at this thing a lot. This kind of ties to the memories that I have with it as well, so I'm going to double dip here on the questions. But, I looked at this thing all the time back in the day. I just loved, like, DK had the same thing too. A lot of the Nintendo games did, especially at the 64 era, but they would have, like, more enhanced computer-generated graphics instead of sprites on the cover and on the marketing for the game, and I always thought this was cool. It was, like, perfect. You got Robotnik, like crushing the two a little bit. You got Sonic looking confident with that little shitty smirk on his face. I like the checkerboard. The art just matches Sonic perfectly. It's super simple, but it just captures the feeling of Sonic 2. And at that time as a kid, I was just in love with the Genesis, and it's just I'll never forget this box art. The Pokemon ones are a close one to me too, like Red and Blue, but overall, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is it, and it's iconic. And you guys will be able to see it up on the screen when we're talking about it later, but just what do you think about that cover, Dave? You like it?
I do. Maybe hot take, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what people say about the Sonic games, but Sonic 2 might be my favorite one of all.
Same. 100%.
The soundtrack, the levels, the art, it's kind of seared into my brain. I didn't have a Genesis, but a lot of times whenever I was able to play it, Sonic 2 was usually the shit that I was playing.
Yeah, Sonic 2 is awesome. It's just a classic, and it was really cool how you could get the Knuckles add-on and then play as Knuckles in Sonic 2.
Yep. The Sonic and Knuckles with the little flip-up cartridge. Yeah.
Actually,
that was cool.
It's funny. I have it like right here behind me. You can't. I'll pull it out real quick if I can.
Hell yeah, you should.
Oh, I got a game on it too.
Stand by while he whips this thing out, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it's not going to take but a second. So it's funny, I actually have Spinball on it. But yeah, so here's the game that I was just talking about, Sonic and Knuckles. That's the little add-on, because you know that Sonic 3 was split into 2 games because the development took long. But how many cartridges do you know that has a fucking door with hinges and shit on it? I mean, come on, look at that. Sonic and
Pretty
Knuckles.
badass.
Yeah. This one's actually in like pretty good shape here. A lot of times these stickers on top of it got really messed up, but it didn't. And you know, we got the Sonic Spinball here too, which I'm not sure if this one had any functionality with the little stack cartridge or not. But overall, I always thought that was a really cool little thing there. And officially, you know how I have the stack for the CD, the Genesis, and the 32X.
Yeah.
Technically, the tower's really not completed if you don't have one of those on top of it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It completely makes sense. You got to get it to go as high as possible.
That's true. And speaking of high as possible, we probably aren't there, but we will be at some point in our lives. Take us to the high point in your
Well,
what am I talking about here? Your cover art. Bleh.
this may not be we were going into high point, low point there for a second, I think.
Yeah.
But the high point for me is Chrono Trigger.
Oh.
It may be no surprise to people who are no strangers to the show.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time with this box art, you know, reading through the manual, looking at the little fold out poster that came with it. They did a really cool job with they're performing one of the double texts that I can't remember the name of, and people are always like, well, why is Marl doing a fire attack on his sword when she's the ice person? If you go into the game and you do look into their dual text, she has one where she shoots fire on her sword. It just is what it is.
You can recreate
So the
this scene
artwork
in
is
game.
yeah, this artwork is accurate. They're literally, I put the name of the monster here because I can't remember its name. Heckran is that, I believe, what it's one of the bosses that you fight.
I mean, Akira Toriyama drew this cover, man. Doesn't get any better than
Right. Exactly. And for the uninitiated, that's the same guy that did Dragon Ball. So, you know, it's great art from a great artist. And an Easter egg about this is if you look on the girl's left hand, which is the non-magic one, because depending on which left you're looking at, it has 6 fingers.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure
Never
they didn't do
noticed
that
that.
on purpose or anything. But yeah, the only other game that I maybe spent more time with on Super Nintendo than this would be like Super Mario World and like Link to the Past. So I mean, like this shit's seared into my memory. I can pretty much sleepwalk through it. You know, I do take my time on the playthroughs of this kind of stuff now, just to kind of
Here's the Japanese
savor it a
version.
little more.
I'm showing it. This is not the one Dave talked about, but I'm showing the Japanese.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
I do too. And hopefully
I
the
heard
fans
some
of the
weird
show
noise
do.
downstairs. I was like, what the fuck is that? But yeah, I got
You're
a
like
little
the
closer.
dog.
Like this one's you've seen this version right here is in great shape. But again, this isn't what Dave's talking about, but I can't help it. We're talking about cover, but this one's awesome in itself too. But sorry, keep going, Dave.
No, that was it. Chrono Trigger rules. One of these days, right now I just have the Steam version of it. TJ's got the DS version of it. He's got the Steam version of it. You got the actual Super Nintendo version of it, right?
Yeah.
One of these days I'm gonna get a Super Nintendo again. I think I'm gonna get like that newer model of it.
Well,
is that the better one? Is that not the better one? I can't even fucking remember.
Not necessarily, but I actually have a Super Nintendo right here. I'm pointing at it, but that's the American one. Downstairs, because the flash carts work on any of them, I have a Super Famicom, so I have a Super Famicom downstairs. It's a little bit of a dingy one, but it works great.
I mean, I have the Super Nintendo Classic, so I could always mod it.
But there's nothing like having the original stuff. But my Super Famicom, they're super cheap. The Japanese consoles are all cheaper. So if you're just gonna mod them, just get a Japanese one, and you don't have to mod. You just get a flash card for these. But again, they work on either one of them. So why not?
Yeah, flash card's nice. You don't have to take it apart and desolder and resolder.
Yep, that is definitely true. But I don't know. I
One
love
of
your
these
choice.
days I'm going to get into it. Maybe we'll do the next time that you mod one of your consoles or something, maybe we'll do like a video of it.
Those are extremely complicated. We could do something like that, but
Well, you would have to edit it on down. It would
Yeah.
take a lot of editing. It would be
I'll tell you one thing. If we were doing this for our job, we would 100% be doing all kinds of stuff like that. There's just only so much time in the day. But I would love to do something like that at some point. We'll see. We'll have to work.
maybe someday.
Well, maybe definitely someday. We'll just have to work it in a way that works the OverMark way.
Right. Just like my guitar shit.
Yeah.
I'm installing a new pickup. I'll make a video of it and put it on here real quick.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, we do all kinds of shit.
Upscaler's still not here, but I'm sure that snowstorm delayed it.
That's something that came up at work today. We were waiting on some equipment to come in, and it was coming from somewhere in the Midwest. And I'm like, you guys realize that there's a giant storm from like Texas to the East Coast Ocean, right? Through the Midwest and Northeast and Southeast, everywhere but Florida, essentially.
Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, I guess that would affect shipping. No fucking shit, it would affect shipping. You can't drive on the fucking road.
As long as I get my stuff eventually, I don't care. Sometimes
It'll
the stuff
come.
gets lost for a little bit, though, when this kind of things happen, which always stinks. But
I'd rather have my shit sit in a warehouse and know that it's coming than it go careening off of the side of a fucking overpass or something and my shit's fucked forever. I'll wait a couple of extra days if I gotta. It's not a big deal. Well, and then also the guy staying alive too. That's important, I suppose.
yeah, I'm with you there. But
Less important than getting my stuff. But no, I'm just kidding.
But we got solid choices
Sort of.
on the cover art, and I think that's it.
Well,
Is that what we got?
I
for
like
tonight?
your choice. Did you have a second choice that you almost picked?
Jet Set Radio Future, which it's super simple, but that's just one of my favorite games. I remember just driving home, looking at that box, reading everything about it. Pokemon Red and Blue, I both like those a lot. There's really a whole bunch of them. Phantasy Star Online. I showed the guidebook for Phantasy Star Online earlier when we were talking. Because it's a new one that I got it. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, but there's levels to the game on. So I like all kinds of shit, but there's a difference between my favorite and other stuff I like, right?
My 1B, and it's a simple one, like yours was simple, was Super Mario 3.
Yeah. Awesome game.
Simple, that yellow blue
Yeah.
with the Mario.
Iconic.
Perfect cover. Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I think that's it.
speaking of iconic, I think
Yep.
we'll move on to our iconic closer. Get the hell out of here with our long show. I got to figure out what I'm going to have for dinner, and then probably
Core's
have
making
it at like
baked ziti
9
for me.
o'clock. Ooh,
I think it's being
man.
made right now. So I'm
Well,
gonna eat like a hog.
shout out to Cora. I know that she listens. Good job on hooking up my boy with some lasagna or baked ziti. I don't know why the fuck I said lasagna.
Whatever,
I
it's all
got
the same
lasagna on the
shit.
brain, I guess.
Noodle, cheese, meat,
Yep.
sauce.
Oh, well, and I'll let everybody know about my sandwich conundrum if I put it in the fridge or if I left it in the car. Next episode.
Take a picture and I can put it in this one.
Yeah,
Let me know.
we'll update it into the episode. I'll let TJ know after the episode's over.
Did we talk about that at the beginning? When was that?
Relatively early in the
Okay,
show,
I'll have to find it, but we'll get that in there. But
we just throw it in at the end.
yeah,
Just throw the picture up while we're talking about it here at the end.
but I say but a lot, and then I say but and then it turns into like I'm sounding like butter. We're gonna
Butters.
we're gonna get on out of here. We appreciate you, Overmark listeners, for listening to our channel. Like I say it every time, you like your sub ever, we appreciate it. Even if you listen for a minute, we appreciate that. I appreciate you, Dave. You're the man. I appreciate the listeners, all that kind of shit. I'm going to sign it on. I'm going to sign off and hand it to Dave, and we're going to get out of here.
Yep. Well, hope everybody has a good week. See everybody after the Rumble. And I think that we're going to just get on out of here. And,
My mother's a fucking whore.
Oh, boy.
Take it easy, guys.
Later.